Good morning, students. Yet again, a video on redemption of debenture. And in this one, we will be learning about interest from debenture redemption investment. Interest from debenture redemption investment. It is interest from DRI. Interest earned by the company on its DRI may be subject to tax, TDS, tax deducted at source. Maybe. For example, if a company has made DRI in a fixed deposit with the bank, then the source of earning interest on this fixed deposit by the company is the bank. Bank will deduct the tax on this interest and the company will receive net interest from the bank. Tax so deducted by the bank will be deposited by it on behalf of the company to the government. Thus, tax on the interest income is an asset of the company as it is a part of interest income received from bank. If there is no TDS, then the journal entry will be bank to interest earned. And if there is TDS, then the journal entry in the books of the company will be bank account debit, that is the balance is increasing, TDS, which the bank has deducted, to interest earned. Interest earned amount is same in both the cases. If there is no TDS, suppose, then bank account will be same as interest earned. If there is TDS, whatever percentage on the interest, the TDS will be, that will be deducted from interest. Next is a sum. Please read the sum. Yeah, it is. An unlisted company, Asset Limited, has 3,010% debentures of rupees 100 each, outstanding as on 31st March 2019. These debentures are due for redemption along with premium at the rate 10% on 31st March 2020. The DRR has a balance of 10,000 on 31st March 2019. Assume that the required investment is made on 1st April of the financial year in which the redemption is due. Past necessary journal entries. Interest was paid on 31st March every year and TDS by bank at the rate 10%. You are required to pass journal entries to complete the redemption of debenture. So let's see, this is the sum. So in the sum we have unlisted company other than NBFC and HFC. It has 3,000 debentures to redeem along with premium. The redemption has to be redeemed along with premium of 10%. And redemption date is 31st March 2020. You should underline these things in the sum. That redemption date, 10% premium, 3,000 debentures of 100 each. The debenture redemption reserve, and there is a balance of 10,000 in the reserve also. We have to assume that the required investment is made on 1st April. The DRI was created from 1st to 30th. It is given over here on 1st April only of the financial year in which the redemption is due. Past necessary journal entries for whatever is required as per the provisions of the law, that means DRR, DRI, the redemption entry, as well as we have to pass the interest entry along with TDS. The TDS is 10%, and interest on debenture is also 10% as given over here, 10% debenture. See, it's a 10% debenture. So this 10% is nothing but interest on debenture. Clear? And TDS is 10%. I make this one as 9%. It will be better then for understanding. 9% debentures. You are required to pass the journal entry to complete the redemption of debenture. So in the books of Asset Limited, we will be creating the redemptions. First of all, on 1/4/19, we have created the DRI, Debenture Redemption Investment Account Debit to Bank, 15% of 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs how? 3,000 into 100, remember? That is the value of debentures, outstanding debentures which has to be redeemed. 15% of that, minimum requirement is 15%. Company can do more than that. As nothing is mentioned about percentage, we will take the as per given in the provision, the minimum, the compulsory, the obligatory requirement, that is 15%. DRI has been created 45,000 DRI to invest to bank. Now come to the date of redemption. On date of redemption, 31st 3/20, we have to have a debenture redemption reserve. So we are creating on the date of redemption only the debenture redemption reserve. Surplus in statement of PL account debit, surplus in statement of PL debit to debenture redemption reserve. And how much? 10,000 was already in the balance. You should have 10% of 3 lakhs as per the law, as per the company's provisions. So 10% of 3 lakhs is 30,000. So you will have 10,000 already there. So 20,000 you have created over here. Next, on the same day, you are getting interest on this DRI, debenture redemption investment. After 1 year, see from 1/4/19 to 31st 3/20 is 1 year. So 1 year interest is on 3 lakhs. On 3 lakhs, the interest will be how much? 3 lakhs, the interest, we have taken 10%, but I have changed the sum, so it will be 27,000. Why 27,000? Because 9% debenture it was. And 10% is the TDS. So 10% will be 2,700 students. And the balancing figure is the bank account, that is 24,300. So again, I will be saying this part. Interest on debenture was 9% because it was 9% debenture. See over here, 9% debenture. So interest is 9% on 3 lakhs. That is 9% on 3 lakhs is why 9% on uh, one sec students. This is a little mistake. We have to create interest. We are not giving this interest, isn't it? So we are creating this interest. We have to create this interest on investment, not on debentures. Extremely sorry, students. So what I have done was I have charged interest. The company needs to give interest to the debenture holders. That entry we have not been asked, so we are not doing that. On this investment, the interest is charged. 45,000 on 1/4/19 entire year, it will be 4,500. Extremely sorry, it will be 4,500 absolutely. 4,500 is the interest. TDS 450, 10% of 4,500, and the balance left is 2050. 2050. That is the bank account debit. Now we are selling off the debenture redemption investment on the date of redemption, and that is bank account debit to DRI 45,000, 45,000. So we have sold off this DRI on the date of redemption. Now we have to pay off the debenture holders. Debenture holders need to be paid 10% more because premium amount is 10%. 3 lakhs was the debenture, 10% more is 3,30,000. So two debenture holders, 3,30,000. Premium on redemption of debenture 30,000 and debenture 3 lakhs. If you recall on the issue of debenture chapter, this premium on redemption we used to credit and we used to write under long-term borrowings. That liability will be reduced. Liability having a credit balance. To cancel it out, we are debiting it. So we have debited over here. We have cancelled that liability, premium on redemption of debenture and debenture account debit. So debenture, premium on redemption, to debenture holders. Our sum is done this much. Achha. Then debenture holders account debit to bank. Why? Because we are paying the debenture holders 3,30,000 on the date of redemption. 31st 3, debenture holders to bank. Remember the interest entry, interest on DRI, not debentures. Interest on DRI, debenture redemption reserve. Debenture redemption reserve. To statement of PL, we have to close that interest. So we have closed that interest. It was a credit balance. We have debited it. So after debiting, it gets closed. The 30,000 wasn't there. It was 4,500. Remember, it was 4,500. And over here also it is 4,500. Then last but not the least, we should not forget to close the debenture redemption reserve, because then that will become free profit to be distributed among the partners, to be distributed among the shareholders, to make it a free profit, free reserve, debenture redemption reserve to general reserve. 30,000, 30,000. Clear? So we have closed it. 31st 3, 2020, DRR to general reserve. 30,000, 30,000. If we will pass, if we would have passed the entry on debenture interest, then what would have been the entry? That entry would have been interest on debentures. Interest on debentures, if you would have passed, that would have been interest on debentures. It was made, it was made, it was made what? It was made 9%. So 9% is 27,000. 27,000 interest on debentures to interest on debentures to, we have to create interest on debentures to debenture holders. To debenture holders, we need to pay the interest to the debenture holders only. Interest on debentures to debenture holders. So say students, for interest we have done one entry, interest on debentures to debenture holders to TDS, because it was 9% debentures. And again on the same day, that is 31st 3/20, the last year ending date, statement of PL to interest on debentures. This date is not date of redemption, it is coinciding with date of redemption. This is year ending date. Till the date we had the debentures. Statement of PL to interest on debentures. 27,000. We have closed the interest on debentures. This was not asked. If they ask, you will be passing this entry. They will ask that show the entry on interest on debentures also. The entry which was there in the sum was on interest on it was the entry on interest on redemption of debentures, interest on redemption reserve. So interest on redemption reserve also we have passed this entry. Interest on redemption reserve, interest on debenture redemption reserve to statement of PL. We have closed this. And when there was the interest we have created, that was 4,500, we have written over here. Bank account debit, TDS account debit to interest on debentures. So hope you all have understand. Now this is your homework, some students. Please create the interest entry also. Interest was paid on 31st March every year, and TDS by bank was 10% for both on DRI and on simple debentures also. And there was in both the cases DRI even. Okay, students. So this all you will be doing, and send me through mail, WhatsApp, or through my comments. I'll be very happy to comment you to. And if you have any other problems, any queries, please ask. I'll be happy to help you all. Thank you, students. So thank you very much. Please do this homework and understand this chapter very well. Thank you very much.